Hey, my name is Ryan Bernath, and this is my financial analysis project for Finance 653. The contents, um, um, we did the entertainment industry, the footwear industry, and the apparel industry. And then we're going to go over the best company to invest in. So the first in the entertainment industries that we had were 21st Century Fox, Discovery Communications, Time Warner, CBS, and Walt Disney. The entertainment industry strategy is that they're going for multi-channel experiences, which basically means that they're trying to use more of their video on like streaming devices, like say YouTube or Twitter, if they got it, or Periscope or something like that. Artificial intelligence, spending more and more to make the most creative viewing, meaning that they're putting more and more into all the graphics and stuff that you see when you actually watch TV, which tries to draw you more into it and keep you occupied with it. Next, that the content is becoming more curated, meaning that they're starting to like suggest what we watch. Like if you go to Amazon, they'll be like, well, this would probably be a show that you would like or something like that. Like all the channels are starting to do that, so they're starting to give more accurate representation of what we want to watch, I guess you could say. And then virtual reality, everybody knows what that is. You know, the little they came out with things you can put on your face and you can watch it, and it looks like you're somewhere else when you're not. It feels like you're there. So I feel like they're all starting to go to places like this. Fox description. Fox is a diversified media company. The company's media and entertainment operations include the production and distribution of motion pictures and television programming, music, radio broadcasting, and sports. Time Warner is a media and entertainment company. The company's businesses include cable television networks that provide programming, feature films, television and home video production, distribution, and magazine publishing. CBS is a multimedia company that operates broadcasting, television production, and publishing businesses. The company operates television and radio stations, produces and syndicates television programs, publishes books, provides online content, as well as provides outdoor advertising. Discovery is a nonfiction entertainment. The company operates on a wide range of educational television channels, as well as offers consumer and educational products and services, and a diversified portfolio of digital media services. Walt Disney is an entertainment company that conducts operations in media networks, studio entertainment, theme parks and resorts, consumer products, and interactive media. The company produces motion pictures, television programs, and musical recordings, as well as books and magazines. Alright, so now we're going to get into the ratios, the analysis, and first we have the current ratio. And here we like Discovery the most. Out of the 5 companies, we like them the most because it seems like they have the best ability to pay back their liabilities, which is what the current ratio tells you. Quick ratio, we like Discovery and Fox here. I think we like Discovery the most because I think they had a big 2017. You see their numbers increase all the way to 5.35. And then you see Fox, who's been just pretty consistent in theirs. And this is telling us that that their liquid assets compared to their liabilities are really well for Discovery. So we like them. Cash ratio, we like Discovery here as well because it tells us that their short-term liquidity is really good and there's no problems there. As for the rest of them, it doesn't look that good for the rest of them. They're all under 1. Debt to equity, we like Disney and Time Warner here because they have probably the strongest equity position out of these 5 firms because they have the lowest of all of them. Disney being the best with 48. Total debt ratio, we like Disney here because like I said, they have the strongest equity position, and they're really good with their debt, as you can see. Also, Time Warner's actually pretty good with 33. CBS and Discovery are kind of outliers. I guess they're a little bit higher than the rest. Leverage is, the equity multiplier shows you how much leverage that a company has, or financial leverage. The more leverage, more risk. So we kind of like the lower numbers here, which would be Time Warner and Disney. Disney being the lowest. As you can tell, they've been pretty consistent over the past 5 years, as well as Time Warner. So that's why we like them the most, because they have the lowest risk. Profitability and asset efficiency. So ROA and ROE. Here we like Disney because they're doing the most with the assets that they have. They're producing the most of the assets that they have at 9.80 here, and that's higher than the rest of them. And then also with like CBS and the ROE, which is, it seems like they're doing the best with the shareholder money that they're getting, that people are investing in. Looks like they're doing the best with their returns, pretty significantly above the rest of them. So now we have profit margin and total asset turnover. For profit margin, we like Discovery and Disney here, and what this is telling us is that they're doing a great job keeping the money that they earn in business, which is good. They're not paying back all these people, which is really good. So you want them to right there. Discovery and Disney are the best in that category. And then total asset turnover. We like Fox because, as you can see, they're turning over their assets more quickly than the rest of them. They're selling a lot of products, and they're doing good with what they're doing compared to the rest of them. So now we have tax and interest. For tax, we like Time Warner and Disney. They seem to be doing the best with their tax burden and making the most before tax with what they do. And then interest burden, we like Disney here pretty good because theirs is a 96.62 and the rest of them are all in the 70 to 80 range. The PE ratio, we like Disney here, and this tells us that people are projecting them to have the biggest growth, or the fastest growth, or highest growth, you could say. As Disney's been a strong company for a while now, and they're still projecting to grow better than the rest of these companies, even though Time Warner and Fox are right there with them. So we like Disney here. Market to book value, we like CBS here because they have the highest market value compared to their book value than the rest of them, pretty significantly actually, over the past 2 years even. And the rest of them are all in that 2 to 3 range, I guess, or 1 to 3 range. So we like CBS there with a 9, so that's pretty good. Now economic value added, this is their capital structure. We'd like Time Warner and Disney here. They have the 2 highest. They bring the most to the table when it comes to their economic value added to their company. We like Time Warner and Disney. Now for their spread, we like Time Warner here. We also like CBS, even though CBS has been inconsistent, as you can see. They even go negative 1 year there. But Time Warner has been increasing the whole time as well, so we like them. We kind of like CBS too, but you probably have to see what happens next year because it looks like they're just inconsistent. Price per cash flow, we like CBS because their price per cash flow compared to their free cash flow is really good, as you can see here. So we like CBS here over companies like Time Warner and Disney. So as you could probably tell, the best entertainment industry that I think would be the best to invest in would be Disney. That's because their ROE, their returns were great. They do the most with the investor money that they get. They do the most with their assets. They operate the most efficiently. So we like Disney here. And also they have the least amount of risk out of the rest of them. Their leverage wasn't as high as the other ones, which is really good. So next we have the footwear industry. And the companies that I picked were Nike, Under Armour, Foot Locker, Skechers, and Steve Madden. The footwear strategy, like the brands like Nike and Under Armour, they're going for those big athlete endorsements like LeBron James and Steph Curry. LeBron James with Nike, Steph Curry with Under Armour. That's the way that most of those big companies like that are headed, with athlete endorsements and the newest technology and stuff that they want to do, and then high performance shoes, like I just said, technology. They always want to be the first with the new technology for the better shoe, for their company and against competitors. And then like companies like Steve Madden is all about the stylish shoes. They're catered to women's footwear, and they always want to have the most stylish brand out there compared to the rest of them, so they can have a competitive advantage. So the descriptions: Nike designs, develops, and markets athletic footwear, apparel, equipment, and accessory products for men, women, and children. The company sells its products worldwide to retail stores, through its own stores, subsidiaries, and distributors. Under Armour develops, markets, and distributes branded performance products for men, women, and youth. The company designs and sells broad offering of apparel and accessories made of synthetic microfibers. Company description of Steve Madden is that they design and market fashion footwear for women. Like I said, the company's shoes are sold through Steve Madden retail stores, department stores, apparel and footwear, specialty stores, and online. Foot Locker is more of a retail footwear store. They offer these shoes in their store. The company offers athletic footwear, apparel, and equipment for men, women, and kids. Foot Locker serves customers worldwide. Then we have Skechers, which is more of like your durable shoe, I guess, your everyday shoe where people wear that are comfortable, that are durable, wear around all the time. They design and market branded, contemporary, casual, active, and rugged lifestyle footwear for men, women, and children. The company sells its products to department stores and specialty retailers. Skechers also sells its products internationally through distributors and directly to consumers through its own retail stores. Okay, so now into the ratios. The current ratios, we like Foot Locker here because they're better than the rest of them at having an ability to pay back their liabilities, which is what the current ratio shows us. So we like Foot Locker here. For the quick ratio, Skechers has the best ratio when it comes to the liquid assets that they have compared to their liabilities that they have in the company. So we like Skechers here, even though Nike's pretty close, and so is Foot Locker. Cash ratio, we see that Foot Locker probably has the least amount of liquidity issues, which is what the cash ratio can tell you, at 1.71 here. And they're pretty close to Skechers, I guess, but Foot Locker is the best when it comes to this. Debt to equity ratio, which tells us who has the best equity position, I guess you could say, the equity compared to their debt. We like Skechers here and Foot Locker. They have the two lowest, which is the best. Under Armour and Nike, they're pretty high, I guess you could say. But we like Skechers and Foot Locker here to have their strongest equity position. Even though Skechers is kind of decreasing, which is good. And then Foot Locker as well, which is really good. So they're on the uptick there. Equity multiplier, which is the leverage, which is the risk. Like Steve Madden here with the lowest amount of risk out of all of these. Even though Skechers and Foot Locker are right there with them, but Steve Madden has the best equity multiplier ratio and the least amount of risk. ROA, which is the return on assets, we like Nike here with the highest, pretty convincingly, except for Foot Locker here. We like Nike because they're doing the best with the assets. They're producing the most with the assets that they have. They're doing the best job efficiently of taking those assets and getting something out of them. ROE, which is our return on equity. We like Nike here as well. They're doing by far the best out of all of these companies, with doing the most with their shareholder money that they're getting from investments from people. Profit margin. We like Nike here. They're doing the best job of keeping the money that they earn and not paying back, like I stated earlier. Nike's doing the best job here by far as well. Even though Steve Madden and Foot Locker aren't bad, I guess you could say, but Under Armour is pretty low there. But we like Nike with the profit margin. Total asset turnover, we like Foot Locker. Even though they're all kind of even in this regard, but we like Foot Locker because it says here that they're turning over their assets quickly. They're selling a lot of product, which is good and working efficiently. So we like Foot Locker here, even though all of them are pretty even when it comes to total asset turnover. Interest, I guess was kind of indifferent with all five because they're all pretty good, I guess you could say, except for, Under Armour, Steve Madden, I don't have it for 2017, but Nike, Skechers, and Foot Locker, they're all pretty even there. So I'm kind of indifferent on those for interest. Tax, we like Nike. They're the highest out of all five of these. So we like Nike here at 86. And the rest of them are in that 60 to 70 range. So 86 ain't bad. So we like Nike there. Operating margin, which is just telling us how efficiently the business is working and how they're doing stuff. And we like Nike here, which once again they're above the rest of them, except for Foot Locker's up there too, I guess you could say, but Nike's been pretty consistently the highest over the last 5 years when it comes to the efficiency of their company. PE ratio, they're expecting Nike to grow the quickest, even though Under Armour has had pretty high the last 3 years there. And then the rest of them, I guess Skechers and Under Armour are the closest to Nike, but Nike's probably the best, so the most consistent. You kind of know what you're going to get. Under Armour, kind of an oddball, but even though they have been high. But yeah, we like Nike here. Market to book value, we like Nike here again because their market value compared to their book value is the best. Pretty much by far for the rest of these. The rest of these are in that 2 to 4 range. I guess you could say Nike's at a 7, and they've consistently grown. So yeah, we like Nike for their market value compared to their book value. EVA, which is their capital structure. We like Nike here, really easily, because you can see here the highest one besides theirs, which is 2793, is this 501 over here. So, and then you see Under Armour's even negative the past 2 years. So we really like Nike here. That's it's a pretty good number. And then the spread, once again, Nike and Foot Locker seem to be a common trend here. Foot Locker actually has been increasing the past 5 years, which is really good. Nike's been pretty consistent, I guess you could say, and they dropped off from 2015 just a little bit. But yeah, we like Nike and Foot Locker here. You see Under Armour again, negative, which is not good for the EVA spread. And Skechers, Steve Madden, pretty low. Free cash flow, we like Nike here. Once again, by far, like I said, trend. So we have 78.5 here for Under Armour, 153, 550, 100, and then you have Nike at 25.35. So way higher than the rest, which is why we like, and they're very consistent when it comes to their free cash flow. So we like Nike there. Price per cash flow, we like Foot Locker, I guess, because their price compared to their cash flow of 550, which is reasonable. But we like Nike too because 24 compared to their 25.35 is pretty dang good too. So we like Foot Locker and Nike with their price per cash flow. So as you could probably see from all the ratios and the analysis we did, the company that I like the most would have to be Nike easily. They dominate almost every category like you saw. They have the best ROA, ROE. They do the best with their investor money. Their debt's good. Their leverage is it's a little bit higher than I guess, but still, like their returns compared to that risk is really well. So we like Nike. Their capital structure is great, and like I said, their market value compared to their book value, and then just their market value in general is really good. Next, we have the clothing industry, and the companies I chose for that are Gap, Ralph Lauren, American Eagle, Urban Outfitters, and VF Corporation. Gap, Ralph Lauren, American Eagle, and Urban Outfitters, everybody pretty much knows them. VF Corporation is a company that owns multiple brands, like North Face is one of them, for example. And then their strategy, they aim for more of a lower pricing strategy because they always want to be the lowest price, I guess you could say, of their competitors. But that kind of depends on their brand, which is branding, which is the next point I have here. Everybody has a different brand, and they want to make that brand as strong as possible. So when people want to go buy clothes or accessories or whatever it may be, they're going to go to the first brand they know. So that's why branding is a big strategy that they have. The quality of the clothes, like I said, the pricing could depend on the quality and the brand as well. They could have high price clothes with a great brand just known for high quality clothes. So and then online retail, all of them are online. all the companies have online retail. If you don't, I mean, you're way behind. But that's the way everything's going. Everybody online shops now, so all of them are going online retail. So for the descriptions, Gap's an international specialty retail operating in retail and outlet stores. The company sells casual apparel, accessories, and personal care products for men, women, and children. The Gap also operates stores in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom, France, Ireland, and Japan. Urban Outfitters operates retail stores and direct response, including catalog of websites. The company's Urban Outfitters and Anthropology retail concepts sell fashion apparel, accessories, and household and gift merchandise. Ralph Lauren designs, markets, and distributes men's, women's, and children's apparel, accessories, fragrances, and home furnishings. See, Ralph Lauren's maybe just a little bit different than the rest because they kind of branch out and go for the accessories, the fragrances, and the home furnishings. VF Corporation is, like I said, international apparel company. The company owns a portfolio of brands in the jeanswear, outerwear, packs, footwear, sportswear, and occupational apparel categories. And then you have American Eagle, so retail men's and women's casual apparel, footwear, outerwear, and accessories. The company's products include jeans, khakis, t-shirts, and other similar apparel. American Eagle operates in the United States. Alright, so now into the ratios. For the current ratio, we like Ralph Lauren here. They're doing a better job than the rest of these with their paying back their liabilities with what they have in the Urban Outfitters, just right there with them. For the quick ratio, we like Ralph Lauren again, even though you'll see later Ralph Lauren turned out to be not as great as they started. But Ralph Lauren here again, pretty convincingly over the rest of them. Cash ratio, liquidity, what shows that Ralph Lauren has probably the least liquidity issues, I guess you could say. But pretty good, even though American Eagle, Urban Outfitters are right there. Debt to equity, Ralph Lauren is the strongest equity position here at 17.83. But we also like Gap too, as you see. Well, we don't like Gap actually. That's 45. It's not very good. 17.82. They're the lowest here. We like them the most. We're kind of indifferent, I guess, with American Eagle and Urban Outfitters. But Ralph Lauren, we like the best here. They have the strongest equity position of the group. Equity multiplier, we like Urban Outfitters and American Eagle here with the least amount of risk that they have in the 1.5 range. Ralph Lauren on their heels there. ROA, we like Urban Outfitters and American Eagle. They're doing the best at producing with the assets that they have and getting the most out of those assets that they have. Ralph Lauren, not so much. Like I said, they were going to turn back, but negative 1.67 there. ROE, the VF Corporation is doing the best with the money that they're getting from investors. As you see, 22 there. Gap's actually pretty good too, but Gap has been decreasing over the past 5 years. You can see from the 40s to the 30s to now the 20s. So we don't like that. Urban Outfitters is pretty consistent there. We like them too, but VF Corporation the most. Profit margin, we like VF Corporation here. They're doing the best at keeping the money that they earn. Like I've said for the past two industries. But as you see here, 8.24, the best. And then Ralph Lauren again, negative. Total asset turnover, they're doing the best. American Eagle and Gap is doing the best at turning over their assets and selling products and getting new inventory in and that kind of thing pretty effectively. Even though Urban Outfitters not far behind, but we like American Eagle and Gap here. Tax burden, we like Ralph Lauren and VF Corporation here with their two, which is pretty big margin between the other three. Interest burden, we like Ralph Lauren here. As you see, they got a pretty good margin above Gap and the VF Corporation, so we like Ralph Lauren there. Operating margin, we like the VF Corp again. As you can see, they're running their business the most effectively and creating a nice margin with their operations of the company compared to the rest of them. PE ratio, once again, we like VF Corp 2340 here. it seems like VF Corp is doing the best um, with their PE ratio here compared to the rest. As you see, Ralph Lauren, though 20.97, not bad, but we like VF Corp here at 23.40. Market to book value, we like the VF Corporation with their market value of their company compared to the book value of the company, which is a nice margin there, 6.37, with the rest of them in that 2 to low 3 range. Economic value added, once again, VF Corp. They have the most. Ralph Lauren, again, like I said, negative. So VF Corp is bringing the most to the table for their company, most value. EVA spread, though, we like American Eagle. And then it did decrease from 2016 to 2017. VF Corp, which has been a favorite here recently, is kind of going down in that regard. And once again, Ralph Lauren, negative, not good. Then we have the free cash flow. We like the VF Corp and Gap. They have the two highest at the bunch by a pretty good margin, 11 to 1200 range. Then the price per cash flow. We like the VF Corp and with their free cash flow. Their price per cash flow compared to their cash flow, free cash flow, is pretty good there at $19.99. And then the best company I think to invest in, what I got was the VF Corp. I like their economic value they added. I like what they were doing with the money they were receiving from investors and how they're using that money and producing from it. I like their PE ratio. They're very efficient, it seems like, with their company compared to the rest of them. Even though the rest of them are pretty efficient, I think VF Corp's the most efficient. And then they're doing the best at keeping their money with them. They're not just like keeping their money that they earn from their business in the business, which is really good. So top three, we have Nike, Walt Disney, and VF Corp, just to summarize. The best company I think to invest in would have to be Nike. And I think this just because if you compare all three, like I did, Nike is just about better than Disney and VF Corp in just about everything. They're great with their debt. They have debt. They have the right amount of debt, but not too much debt. Their returns are way better than the rest of them. They're doing more with investor money. They're getting the most out of their assets. Their market value is better than the other two. And then their capital structure, their EVA spread is better than the other two, VF Corp and Disney. So some news on Nike. They've been aiming for $50 billion sales goal in 2020. And I read on the New York Times that the growing middle class in China could help that because they're kind of struggling there. And then the foreign exchange rates have been hindering Nike's growth. But that's starting to turn their way, so that's increasing their sales as well and helping them out. And then the growing middle class in China, it is growing, and they are getting better there. So they expect them to meet their $50 billion sales goal in 2020. So that's pretty exciting for Nike. And that's it.